right?
Right.
But not anymore. In fact, there's so much information, there's too much information. Information is only power if it's actualized. Like Maslow said, infinite potential, it must be actualized. So only if it's actualized. So the coach one-on-one, see, like coaching sessions that are group coaching sessions, it's good, and you can get value. But one-on-one, it's all about you. It's where you're located, where you want to be, whatever you somehow has got you stuck. Because the past portends the future, and the past predicts the future. So the coaches many times is a pattern interrupt to your way of thinking, or problems will get a hold of you.
Right.
Like some of you out there, you have friends. And let me give you one little quick insight here. Most people think with their left brain, and that's a very limited domain.
Right.
Left brain, you can only process 7 chunks of information, plus or minus 2. Everything has to be sequential in the left brain because every left brain wants it in order. Life is not sequential. Life is dialectical. Life is contradictory. And so if you're thinking with your left brain, you see limitation because it's problem-solution oriented. I have a problem. Your mind says, you have a problem. Find a solution. It starts producing solutions.
Right.
Only you say, I don't like that solution.
Now, what brain is saying I don't like it? The left or the right?
The left brain.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like, well, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that.
Right.
So now, the right brain can process not 7 chunks of information, millions of bits of information per second, sequentially or any other order, standing on the head of a pin. The right brain is the infinite capacity for creativity, inspiration, and possibility. Now, let me give you, and this comes from, quantum physics and all of that. So let me give you a little exercise. Those of you that are driving a car or operating heavy machinery, do not do this. But those of you that are just sitting, with your phone at a desk, you can do this. Close your eyes. Put your left hand palm in your lap, open. Put your right palm in your lap, open. Okay. With the energy in your left palm, if you will, I want you to think of something that you would like to alter or change. Some situation that's not working for you. Either your business, your money, whatever it is in your life. Okay, so kind of pose the problem. And then notice how you feel, the feeling state. Maybe it drains your energy, doesn't make you feel good. It's a worry, it's a stress, it's a problem, it's an issue.
Right.
It's a fear. Okay. Now, with your eyes closed still, in the right hand, I want you to ask yourself the question, how would it feel if it were different? And I want you to allow what comes forth, the ways in which it could be different. Notice the ways in which it could be different. Notice how it would look if it were different. Notice how it would feel. Notice what you would say to yourself. And notice how it feels lighter and it feels better, and you see possibility, not limitation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a way of activating your right brain. Anytime you're stuck, you can do that exercise. It's good to start the day. This stuff is a practice. It's like Zen Buddhists, they chant 6 hours a day with breaks, by the way. Why? To quiet their mind. So if you're going to be, I can trust me, and I know a lot of very successful people, millionaires, billionaires, and all this stuff. They cultivate this kind of thinking. I'll call it transcendent thinking. They're not a reaction to their circumstance or the market or the economy, but rather they are a response to it. So you want to cultivate that kind of thinking. I have not forever, but for 20 or 30 years, spent at least an hour in the morning with myself in this way. That's time for me, and it prepares me for anything that shows up. in my life, whether I'm in front of an audience or I'm not. I don't do canned speeches, but I know what I'm going to say, but then a lot of stuff that I never heard before comes in, and it's a lot more interesting, especially to me because I haven't heard it before.
Right.
But if you're in the moment, if you're available, then more can come to you, more possibility, ultimately, right?
Wow. So, I think because we get so busy with work and family and all the other extracurricular activities we're in, we don't really take time for ourselves to still our minds and to be at that, that transcendent place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're run by the doing. You're not a human doing, you're a human being. But if you're not careful, you become a human doing. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. and when you're ready to check out,
right.
Which, by the way, I didn't. In August, I went to the hospital. I had lost about 30 pounds all of a sudden.
Uh-huh.
I said, something might be wrong. Went to the hospital. They said, well, if you'd waited a couple more days, you'd be dead.
Wow.
So I almost died in August. And I had a deadly blood disease. And I said, well, how'd I get it? And they said, we don't know. It's unknown causes. That they call that idiopathic, okay? Unknown causes. But nevertheless, they cured the blood disease. But that was a breakdown and a breakthrough. Let me tell you, to take me to an all much higher level of consciousness where what mattered before didn't matter so much anymore. When you get to the end of your life, you don't say, I wish I could have worked more. But you do get in touch with what matters.
Right.
Right? So I would say to everyone there is that you're worth it. Get up earlier. You say, oh, but I need my sleep. You ever notice people in Vegas, they don't need to sleep?
Well, it's the city that never sleeps. So.
Because they're having fun, So it's like children. They won't go to sleep at night. Why? Because they had another boring day around you.
Right.
If you took them to Disneyland and they had fun, they go right to sleep, no problem.
Sure.
Yeah. So when you elevate your consciousness, you're having more fun, you're loving more, you're living more, and you have no problem going to sleep. Right. And then you get up early to spend time with you. I have for many years gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I spend an hour or so, with myself, which I like, and my books and my stuff, It's a great practice. Try it. Try it for a week. You can try it on and see how it works for you.
Well, what time do you recommend? 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock?
Well, I think 5 o'clock. Now, I used to go to a Sikh synagogue. I wasn't a Sikh, mind you. Those are the folks that wear the white robes and the whole thing.
Right.
But they have, they say that the twilight hour is like 4 a.m. In fact, Dalai Lama gets up at 4 a.m. and he does the sadhana, his meditation and his practice. I think for him it's like 2 hours from 4 to 6. And but for me it was 5 o'clock because no one was up. My wife wasn't up, my kids weren't up, and I could just have that quiet time. So
right.
Whenever that time is for you, is the right time for you. But it helps to get up before others get up because, they're making noise and doing things and all that. So I would get up before no one else got up at 5 in the morning, and I'd have that good hour to myself. Well, but I know that everyone wants to transform their business, their life, and you are a possibility. It's infinite. It's available. And by the way, those of you that want to do a coaching session with me, send me an email to Stephen Cates at catesintl.com, and I'll do a one-on-one session with you next week. I'm going to do 5 sessions, so if you can, send me an email right away. Also want to invite you to attend the Turning Point. The Turning Point event is in Newport Beach, and it's on April the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's at the Marriott Resort and Spa. The tuition is typically $797. However, because of Eric's invitation and Power Radio and his viewership, followers and folks that get on the calls, we changed the rate on the site to $297, so you can save $500 by registering. It's only $297. I guarantee you your money back, that it will be one of the most powerful experiences you've ever had in a 3-day seminar, and it's called The Turning Point. And you can go on my site, which is StephenCates.com. That's my website, and click on Turning Point. It'll take you to a page, and it'll tell you all about Turning Points if you want to know more. You should be able to register on there, although I called my web guy. We had a little glitch. The link was not working to register.
Right.
But you can also send me an email and say, I want to register, and that's not a problem. Somebody will get back to you and get you registered.
So
but
Stephen,
that's available to you as well.
Let's open up the lines for some questions. To take a few questions here. We're way past our time.
Yeah.
Just in talking with you, I just didn't realize how much time has gone by. Operator, let's open up the lines for questions for Mr. Cates.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question at this time, please press star, then 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If your question has been answered or you wish to remove yourself from the queue, please press the pound key. Once again, if you have a question, please press star, then 1 at this time.
So while we're waiting on questions, we'll wait a few minutes here and then we'll end the call. But, Stephen, we talked basically about the first 2 bullets here, a little bit about reality is an interpretation, change yours. Give us some final comments that might kind of summarize the rest of those bullets. We really need a second call to do a deeper dive in some of these things, but go ahead.
Well, in terms of reality, just understand, when you understand how something works, you have some power over it. You have some freedom. And ultimately, all this stuff we're doing is trying to get some power in our life and some freedom. Power is readily available. Most people find that money is power, but also conversely, if you don't have the money now, because you don't have the income you had, then you lose power. But money is not the source of your power. Power is inherent. The universe, everything in the universe is a source of power or energy. Power is energy. So energy is in everything, in material things and spiritual things. All things have power. To have existence, they have power. And you have existence, so therefore you have power. But just understand that the reality in which you're perceiving, which causes you consternation, stress, worry, fear, what have you, is your interpretation. Now, if you put on a different set of glasses, like you have on your dark glasses so the world looks dark or the possibility looks dark, if you put on rosy glasses, you're going to see what the world looks rosy to you. So you might, in just understanding that, and start doing some of the work, or, if you will, attend my Turning Point event, I guarantee you will leave there transformed. I guarantee that. Or I will give you all your money back without question.
Wow.
But that your reality, when you see limitation, it's an interpretation. Yours, not someone else's, yours. So understanding, and I think it's undeniable, when we start to get in touch with the things that you have accomplished in your life, whether you've been in real estate long or not, you've accomplished other things in your life. Anytime I do a process with someone, I'll have them draw on the resources of the successes that they've had in the past, and everyone has had them. I don't care if it was in school. It doesn't matter. In sports, it doesn't matter. I can take that resource and use it in the present to shift your way of being, your way of viewing yourself and viewing all of life. So it shifts your reality. And remember, before I said that if you want to raise the level of your accomplishment or your results in life, and it isn't about knowing everything or working really hard or, driving yourself into the ground, none of that. It is about elevating your consciousness. So if you let go of fear, you elevate your consciousness. If you let go of anger, being, angry and resentful to people, that's another thing we cover in Turning Point. I take people through a process to forgive everyone that